you're going to treat yourself well. When you love yourself, you're going to talk to yourself some kind of way. And so if you got voices that's talking in your brain, that's always negative, that's always beating you down, always saying something bad about you, those are not your voice. That's not your voice. Those are not your thoughts. You got to detox. This is what's going to give you deliverance. This is what's going to get you closer to God. This is what's going to allow you to hear the voice of God. God needs you to detox. Detox from within. Detox from your thoughts. Detox from the foods. Detox totally. Detox from everything you hear. Not only detoxing from food and things of that nature, but you also have to detox from yourself. This is why this is why God says that when you pray, go in your secret closet. Go in your secret closet when you pray. Go in your secret closet. And when you get in that secret closet, shut the door. God wants you to shut the door and see what God wants you to remove all the noise. How can you hear from God clearly if you're constantly hearing noise? You hear noise when you wake up. You hear the television. You hear the radio station. Always words. Always subliminal thoughts. There are so many things and there are so many people have been raised by subliminal thoughts from their mind. So that subliminal thought is what made you react. That subliminal thought made you not do this. Say for example, you got hurt years ago. And so now you're in a situation right now where things seem similar to how you got hurt before. It seems similar. See, but it seemed that way, but it don't mean that it's actually going to happen. See what happens. This is how the enemy robs you. Now you're in a situation that's similar to what happened before, but now your subconscious, now the voices in your mind on when you got hurt before is speaking to you. Those past voices, those voices are speaking to you, telling you, well, it's this, it's that. Did you see God, or you just entertain that voice? And so now you felt something. And so you felt something, a voice tell you something negative, and so now you believe that it's true. You believe that it's God. There are so many people that whom people have hurt them. Sir, ma'am, people have hurt you, but you've already played the jury and execution and counsel in your mind already about the person. You already figured out, your mind done already talked to you. Your mind had a conversation already about the other person. And so now you ain't talked to the person, but your mind done already did it. Did you not know the Bible calls Satan the accuser of the brethren? Anytime you have voices that pop up in your head that's always accusing, always a negative, have you thought to analyze that? Why is it that when something bad happens or when something happens that you don't understand, why not something positive come to your mind? Why is it that something always got to come to your mind that's negative and you got to believe with it? You got to agree with it. Well, you know he was no good anyway. You know she was no good anyway. And so now that'll gas you up. And see, the enemy knows your triggers. You need to know that. The enemy, the Satan, knows your triggers. And what the enemy will do, the enemy will, in a situation where the enemy knows your trigger, he'll put something in your way that will set you off. If you're an emotional person that's given to emotion, anything a person can say can set you off, the enemy is going to always play with you. He's going to always play with your emotions. You're going to be upset over here. You're going to be upset over there. And see, the enemy want to do that. The enemy want to always keep you confused emotionally because you're not aligning. You're not aligning with God. And we know God is not the author of confusion. And so how can you hear from God? How can you heal? How can you become healed? How can you deliver other people? How can you speak truth to other people if inside there's a warfare? You're out of order. That's what it is. When there's confusion on the inside of your body, when your mind is saying one thing and your heart is saying something else, you're out of order. And if you're out of order, the Bible said, God said, if you have a gift that you want to offer to God, that you offer to the King, but you remember you have all against your brother or somebody got all against you, the Bible said to lay that gift at the altar and go be reconciled, to lay it right there. If you have an inkling that you got an issue with somebody, lay it right there, and go be reconciled. And so what it is that God wants us to be reconciled, but also to be free within. God wants us to be aligned within our spirit. He wants us to have peace inside. That's why Jesus said, take my yoke upon you and learn of me. Take my yoke, my pressure. For my yoke is easy. See, See, if you're dealing with stuff that's hard situation, hard predicaments, the Bible said the way of a transgressor is hard. The way of a transgressor, when you're doing things according to the law, when you're doing things according to without God, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. And so it's only hard because God been speaking, but you've been ignoring. Because you've been listening to your intuition. You've been listening to your mind. You've been listening to everything but God. But the Bible said obedience is better than sacrifice. You trying to help God. You ask God to help you, but now you're trying to help God in your mind in the situation. You're replaying in your mind, well, I want to do this. You're already replaying in your mind. Or when a situation happens, now you say you trust God, you say you believe God, but then when a situation happens, your body language is something totally different. You're afraid, you're full of fear. You get on the phone, you start to talk. Wonder when. The same old cycle. What God wants you to do, once you pray, God wants you to close your mouth. Shut the door and close your mouth. See, the problem why oftentimes we don't receive and people don't receive their blessings is because you mess it up. Because once you ask for it, then you start running your mouth. You start getting on the phone instead of praying, instead of aligning, instead of saying, well, God, I trust you, then leave it alone. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. Faith is like grabbing the rope. On this rope, you're grabbing it and you got to get to the top. And you're on the cliff. This is what faith is like. Picture me. And you're on the cliff. And you look down, you see it all the way down, there's nothing there. You know if you let go, you're dead. And so you know you can't let go because when you close your eyes, you know you got so many people depending on you. You got purpose in your life. God done told you got to do certain things. There are certain places you got to go. There are certain people that you got to speak to. And so you holding on this rope. This is what faith is. See, blood might be in your hands because of the rope. You might be bleeding, but you're still holding. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed. You're holding because the purpose, you see God. At the end, you know at the end of this mountain, you know at the end of this cliff, you're going to get to the top. And so this is the position that God wants you to have inside. God wants you inside to be like a rope, one way. Not to the left, not to the right, but focus. God wants you to focus on Him. Focus on Him and Him only. See, because the enemy wants you to be scattered in your brain because, God knows a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways and that person will receive anything from God. See, the enemy knows that. When you're unstable, you can't hear God. When voices keep speaking to you, noise and all of that, God's speaking too, but you can't hear because you're distracted. See, but God wants to remove the distraction, and the first way to remove the distraction is going on a fast. On a physical fast without food. Might be a day. Whatever demon or however God speak to your heart to do it, you need to do it. God need to uproot some stuff in your life. You got blockages, and many of you, your trauma's in your gut. Your stress, hate, hurt. There's some cancerous cells also that's trying to form in your gut. But God wants you to fast. And so when you fast, you're going to rebuke what's in your gut. When you're fasting, because it's a blockage. It's a blockage in your gut. And God wants to remove the blockage. Oh yeah, He wants you to remove the blockage because you can't hear. You can't hear. There's confusion, there's hurt, you're sluggish, panic attacks, mood swings, nervous conditions. All of these things, let me tell you something. Some of you are listening to me. A lot of your nervous condition is connected to the foods you eat. It's connected to the food you eat and all the noise that you're listening to. Because all the noise that you listen to is attacking your nervous system. That television, a lot of that attacks your neurons, it attacks your nerves. It gives you panic attacks. Because there's a light that's flashing when you're watching, even on the phone, TV. There's a light that's flashing that your central nervous system can catch. It's flashing. It's flashing. And see, there's things that's going on in your body that you ain't know. But you focus on the inside. You focus on the devil on the outside. You focus on the government. When God wants you to focus on the inside, that's where the fight is at. See, because once you get free and once you have peace within, you know what's going to happen? When you got peace within, that light in you, It's going to become brighter. Then what's going to happen? That light, the Bible said, God said, that David said, God, your word